who are you? You know, and hopefully in my work, I start tapping into universal things, which is what hopefully people start falling in love with.
Because there is a theme in your artwork that I've seen as well with the boxing gloves that we have displayed right now. What's the kind of inspiration behind the boxing gloves? We see the woman behind you with the headdress and just behind me here. So what's the kind of story behind?
So she's Mongolian,
Right.
And she's Afghan.
I did think so.
Yeah. And so it started with the boy with the boxing glove, and again, when I painted it, I didn't know what I was going to paint, and I didn't know about the boxing gloves. It just started to happen where I started to do painting where as a boy there's a boxing gloves, and then there's this little sparrow. It's a bird. And the boxing gloves then became a theme for this, where they're oversized, old school boxing gloves. They're not modern boxing gloves. If you see on these, they're old leather, really stretchy. So they're old. They represent something old. And again, I'm only analysing this having painted them. I didn't know what I was doing when I was painting them. I was just
It's really interesting that you just free throw in the trance and in the flow of it all.
It's like following a thread. It's like, I remember my teacher in Italy saying it's a very, creativity is like having a thread in the dark that you just, if you pull too tightly, it'll snap. But you have to just kind of feel your way through it. It's a very creativity is a very delicate thread. And so you start following it and you go, there's something about boxing gloves. Don't know what it is. There's a choice to be made. They're not modern boxing gloves. They're old, leather, stinking, tired boxing gloves. What does that tell you? You know, it's old school, it's age, it's an old fighter. You know, there's something about violence that comes with boxing gloves. It's symbolic as for a fighter. It takes courage to fight. There's all these themes that start to come out when you start analysing, but in the process of creating, you can't analyse. You just create. The analysis comes later, comes afterwards. And for me personally, I prefer other people to analyse my paintings. I think once you do a piece of art and you show your vulnerability, you then give it to the audience. They can feel what they want.